Solomon, I wanted to show you what we've been hit with here. This is ice on everything, about a half an inch. See what the tree looks like. Here's a little spot I scraped out on the driveway. You can see it's that thick. It's almost an inch thick. This is Raven. Well, I was going to show you the temperature, but wait till I get backed up here. I was going to take you down the road, show you the mess we've got at the bottom of the hill, unless they've started cleaning it up. Okay, as you can see right there, it's 28 degrees here. That's Fahrenheit, of course. 28 degrees here this morning. Of course, this storm hit night before last. Today is Friday. I don't know when I'll be able to send this to you because our electricity is off. And then if you heard any noise running in the background, I've got a generator running. I had to hook up to be able to run my refrigerator and freezer. But the storm hit night before last, and our electricity went off about midnight, shortly after midnight. So it's off for 24 hours plus this morning, so about 36 hours until I got my generator hooked up. Yeah, a big hawk flew across the road there. But everything is covered up in ice. And it was 18 years ago, next week in February, 18 years ago, that we had the terrible ice storm. It's worse than this one. This one's not as bad, but they're predicting more snow and stuff to come in over the next couple of days. You can see the road I'm driving on. It's just a big sheet of ice. And the Lord has blessed me that I was able to buy a new car, and that's what I'm driving. It's all-wheel drive. It's a Subaru Outback. That's why I can get in and out and go just about anywhere, regardless of the road conditions, because this thing is just crazy how good the traction is. I see some of these limbs have been broken off that were really drooped down in the road here yesterday. See right here, you can see the cable. This is the telephone cable. Somebody has actually cut part of the telephone pole away. It broke from right there. You can see the stub, and it was laying in the road, and you can see that they have sawed a big piece of it in two and got it over out of the road. But you can see the cables, phone cables pulled down on the ground. And then we get right down here. I'm going to stop and zoom in a little bit. see right there, the top of that telephone pole is broken off. Transformer are hanging, wires are hanging. And that big tree right there was already, it's been down for a while. It didn't fall because of the ice storm. You can see a big tree uprooted right there and pulled the power cables down. Or, I mean the phone lines, not the power cables. Pulled the phone wires down. There was a big tree in the road right up here. Like somebody may have worked part of it up. Yeah, they have. If I could have got my tractor down here, I would have come down here and got a big log out of it for firewood. But you can see right there. Actually, I think maybe the road crew just come through and pushed it with a blade on the truck, just pushed it out of the way. But you can see it fell all across the road, had the road blocked. And here was another one, not as big, but it had fallen out into the road, had the road blocked. See what I mean about the traction? It's almost 45 miles an hour right there, just in a hurry. But now I can't stop that quick, so I got to be real careful when I do that. It's got crazy traction taking off, but it's not hardly the same story stopping because it'll slide and scoot. Curve here, there was a tree out in the road right up here yesterday. It's probably been pushed out of the way too. I don't know why I didn't think about just bringing my camera the first time I came out yesterday. There's some brush there, and right up here then they've cut it back a little bit. You can see that tree right there. It had fell out in the road, and there was just a path right through here to get through yesterday, but they've pushed it back a little bit. Get on down here. I want to show you a big pine tree. There's one right here. You can see how that it's drooped and how the big limbs is broken out of it and laying on the ground. That's what the ice does. And if a tree like that is leaning a little bit, it'll pull it over and uproot it. Yeah, there's a Church of Christ right there. They are very, very liberal. They engage in all the holidays, have instrumental music, women speaking, I think. I'm not positive about that, but they're essentially the Christian church. They just wear the name Church of Christ. You can see how these trees here are drooped over. I wanted to show you this big pine tree right up here over to the right. Yeah, about right here. Yeah, I'm scooting a little bit. Now, back up just a little bit. like this. You can see how that thing is just decimated. Broken limbs out of it to ruin that tree. But the main road is clear. As you can see there, traffic's running just fine on it. They just they didn't scrape this road and salt it and so forth. Just haven't been able to do it yet. And so if we get several more inches of snow as they're predicting, that will really compound the problem here. So, okay, I'm going to turn the camera off till I get back to the bottom of my driveway, and I may go on down the road from there. Alright, here we are coming back up to the bottom of my driveway. So, that's my driveway. And we'll go on down the road. I've not been down through here since this ice storm hit. I don't know what we'll see. Neighbors used his backhoe, cleaned up his driveway, got the ice off of it. Come up on our next neighbor down here. It's Mary Ellen's cousin, and I built that house years ago. And I built that stage right there, and the big garage building out there. As you can see, I built that as well for my neighbor. I don't know if you've seen that big pileated woodpecker fly across in front of the car or not. Down in here, up to my right, is where they're mining clay. That's what's tearing up a road. So dump trucks hauling clay out. Of course, they're not working today. Yeah, it looks pretty tame down through here anyway. Not much chaos. Used to be an old house stood right there. They've torn it down. Here's where the road goes through the creek. I came back through right here, this spot right here, years and years ago. Once I used to run paper out, and I was coming home and it rained real hard, and when I went through the creek right there, the water was up on the headlights of the car. This is another nice feature about this car. It has a backup camera. Which that seems to be pretty common with newer vehicles today. Alright, still 28 degrees. Alright. This is where I came down here during the summertime when it was so hot and dry. And I'd get down in one of those crevices right over there. I'll zoom in on that a little bit. You can see that dark area right there. But I had 5-gallon water jugs, and I would submerge them right there and fill them up with water. and I'd fill up 5 or 6 at a time and take them up and water my garden plants with it. And that road right there goes way up through there, and as you can see, the sign there says dead end, and ironically it ends at a cemetery. So you can get the pun there, dead end. But anyway, I'm going to go back up to the house now, so I'll stop the video. Alright, so we're coming back to my driveway. But I just wanted to make a little video to show you what we were dealing with here. And as I said, our electricity is off, probably be off for several days. And so you can see the generator I've got running right there, and it runs on propane. A little bit less noisy than a gasoline powered one. So anyway, this is where we're at. And like I said, I don't know when I'll be able to upload this to where you can see it. But anyway, we'll probably be out of power for several days. There's my Raven again. Alright, we'll talk at you later.